tense interleague series, the ninth-inning grind, and a rookie like Yamagata, still finding his feet, fresh off a critical throwing error earlier that week, is jogging back to the dugout. Suddenly, from the opposing side, a voice cuts through the crowd noise, sharp and unmistakable.
It wasn't just any voice. It was Kaneko Makoto, the legendary defensive guru from the Marines, known industry-wide for having a tongue sharper than a samurai sword, who leaned across the railing and muttered two simple, impossible words. Welcome, baseball fanatics, to 606 Prime News, where we dive deep into the whispers and shouts of the diamond. And today, we're decoding the most fascinating piece of inter-club espionage, when a rival coach dares to publicly anoint the future king of shortstops.
This is not a story about a rookie who simply hits .232 over 84 games, including 51 starts, standard numbers for a first-year player navigating the professional landscape. No, this is about the profound internal metrics that define a true star, and how those metrics can be recognized by the sharpest eyes across the league divide. When Yamagata himself breaks down his rookie performance, he doesn't brag about the acrobatic plays that made the highlight reels. He speaks in confessions, stating bluntly, "I had about 10 mistakes that didn't show up in the scorebook." These are the phantom errors, the slightly off-target cutoff throws, the plays that could have been made but weren't, costing the pitcher trust and forcing an extra 4 or 5 pitches per inning. That level of self-analysis, the realization that professional baseball demands converting every possible opportunity into an out, is the psychological foundation of an elite player. He understands that while his defensive range factor might clock in at a solid 4.8, which is above average for a first-year shortstop, those phantom errors represent a critical leak in his game, a structural weakness only the truly obsessive recognize. He articulates it perfectly. The challenge for me is expanding the range of what's possible to get out. Focusing only on the secure play is failure. This self-awareness is precisely what elevated the situation from routine rookie development to front-page news. Because while many fans, or even his own coaches, might praise the effort, it takes a unique predator, a defensive master like Kaneko Makoto, to recognize that depth of character. Kaneko is not a man known for gentle encouragement. His reputation is built on mercilessly drilling his own players until they achieve robotic perfection. He is the executioner of infielders, and yet he offered Yamagata a public stamp of approval. Now, I know the counter-argument immediately surfaces. Perhaps Kaneko was simply playing mind games, trying to inflate the kid's ego to foster complacency. Absolutely not. I spoke to a former colleague, a scout who worked with Kaneko years ago, who was stunned by the incident. Kaneko doesn't waste his breath on flattery, the scout told me. He only speaks when he sees the engine running at maximum output. He's looking past the hands. He's looking at the processing speed. The crucial turning point, according to those near the dugout, wasn't a diving stop. It was Yamagata's perfect pre-pitch preparation on a routine single, where he was already aligning himself for the possibility of a throw to third base before the pitch was even delivered. Kaneko saw a mind that thinks 3 steps ahead, realizing that this rookie is a student of the game's deep mathematics. This recognition is why Kaneko deemed him worthy of breaking the rival code, offering the ultimate encouragement, Ganbareyo. This validation isn't just a feel-good moment, it throws down the gauntlet for the entire fighter's infield. With Mizuno potentially locking down second base and defensive stalwarts like Hosokawa and Otsuka vying for time, the question is whether Yamagata can solidify his claim to the most demanding position on the diamond. The consensus had been slowly building towards a Yamagata-Mizuno short second platoon, prioritizing defense and speed, a potential defensive alignment that could rival the historically great infields of the late 90s. But the praise from Kaneko changes the narrative entirely. It's an escalation. It takes the expectation of good and elevates it to legendary. That initial brief encouragement was monumental, but the true plot twist came later, in a conversation relayed by Panishi-san, who observed Kaneko's uncharacteristic behavior. Panishi reported that Kaneko was overheard making a statement so bold, so weighted with expectation, that it redefined Yamagata's career trajectory before it even truly began. Kaneko, the master of infield defense, didn't just tell him to keep going. He declared, Yamagata will become a shortstop who surpasses Mac. That's it. That's the defining statement. He isn't just being compared to current stars, he's being compared to Matsui Kazuo, Mac, a man synonymous with the pinnacle of Japanese shortstop play. To be benchmarked against a true icon by a rival defensive genius is the highest form of respect and the heaviest burden of expectation. If Kaneko, a man who built his reputation on dissecting and rebuilding defensive mechanics, believes Yamagata possesses the internal architecture to exceed a Hall of Fame talent, then we are not just watching a promising rookie, we are witnessing the inevitable ascent of a future generational talent, assuming he maintains that ruthless self-scrutiny. The battle this season won't just be for playing time against his teammates, but against the ghost of legends past. We need to see him address those 10 self-identified ghost errors, elevate his arm strength, and fulfill the promise given by the toughest coach in the league. Now, the stage is set, the prophecy has been made, and the spotlight is blinding. Do you believe, like Kaneko, that Yamagata has the raw potential, the defensive brain, and the internal drive to truly surpass the likes of Mac? And what specific defensive statistic do you think he needs to dominate this season to prove it?
Let us know in the comments below, and if you want more deeply analyzed Japanese baseball content like this, be sure to smash that like button, share this video with your fellow fans, and hit subscribe so you never miss an insight from 606 Prime News.